going to cover what you need to know to prepare for your app launch. And we have some exciting stuff for you to share. This webinar is the beginning of a series of webinars that we have I'm super excited to share with you. We're calling it the GTR Success Roadmap Series, and it's designed to provide you with the steps that we recommend you take to get the most out of our platform based on our experience and what our most successful customers are doing. So before we begin, I do have some housekeeping items. As you know, usually when I get started, I have some things I want to share, and that is no different this time. So I want to share a few things, but I do have a question before we get started. I have a poll for everybody, and I'd love for you to answer this question for us. So let's pop that up here. And if you will participate, I would love to hear what stage are you at with Get the Referral. Now, while you guys fill that out, I'm going to continue on. I want to tell you all, we are going to cover a lot of information today, and we will be providing you with all of the slides from today's presentation in PDF format. So you do not have to worry about writing everything down or reading every single word that's on these slides, because we have that for you, as well as some other free resources for you to download after the webinar. So be sure to stay until the end. And regarding recording, yes, this webinar is being recorded. We'll be sharing the replay link with you by email tomorrow. So when you get that email, we invite you to revisit the content that we'll be sharing, because it is a lot. And we are hoping that you'll share it with your friends and colleagues as well, if you think that they will find this information useful as well. Now, on that note, if you have any questions or comments, we welcome them. So please feel free to connect with us in the chat box. We've reserved a few minutes at the end of the webinar for questions. So if you think of a question, just type it in the chat box and we'll hold it until the Q&A portion at the end. All right, let's take a look at our slide results here. Wow, okay. So we've got some people that have just signed up. We've got some in the onboarding stage, which is perfect, because that's what we're talking about today. We've got some in the post-launch stage, finding their rhythm. Really, really interesting mix that we've got here. All right, I am going to get back to where we were, and let's introduce our special guest. I'm so excited. I have a senior member of our GTR team here with me today. He has been with GTR for over 3 years and has personally onboarded over 200 customers, has won multiple awards for excellence each year during our company's annual awards ceremony. Our customer success team lead, Chad Etchison, welcome.
Good morning, Michaela. Thank you for that great introduction. It's great to be here. Already seeing some familiar faces in the chat. Burke, my friend, hello, sir. Good morning to you. Appreciate your time today, and really appreciate everyone's time today. Michaela, as you called out, we've got a great group of people here. It looks like, new customers that are within the implementation and onboarding stage, a few customers that it seems like are going to get just some value in terms of that. Okay, my app's live, what to do next. So we're really excited to be here, Michaela. I'm really excited that, again, I get this FaceTime here with you today, and on behalf of our marketing team. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, no, I feel exactly the same way. I'm so excited for this one. So today's webinar is going to cover the period after your company has signed up and completed the implementation process. And that's where you go through the design, setting up your app, logos, colors, all of that stuff. The reason for that is we are currently in the process of optimizing that implementation process as we speak. So we'll be doing a webinar to cover that process in the very near future. More on that soon, I promise. But for now, we are going to benefit from a ton of experience from my friend Chad here about setting us up for success with our platform. And I'm really looking forward to having him walk us through that. So let's get into it. Let's pretend that I'm a new GTR customer. We understand now that we are at the stage where we've signed up, we've completed the implementation, and I'm ready to prepare my organization for our app launch. What's the most important thing that you want me to know at this stage?
Yeah, it's a great question, Michaela. And, again, what is the most important thing for our customer success department is making sure that you're trained to use our software, making sure that you understand all the bells and whistles that our application offers to you, not only as a referral platform, but also as a customer experience tool. And so with that, onboarding process and implementation process, uh, there is a training element involved to this. And I just want to make this very clear that our department allows you as our customer to dictate the pace of training. Our team has open and available meeting schedulers. So when they send you a meeting invite, they actually let you book time on your own calendar with that representative here at GTR. That again allows them to, really you dictate the pace of your training. And I see clients that, hey, are willing to work with us, willing to bend over backwards with our implementation and onboarding team to get their application live in a timely manner, to get themselves trained in a timely manner. Because where we see that success is a top to bottom rollout of this application. From the boots on the ground all the way up to the executive level figures up top. That there is a big training element involved here, but that's what we see that really dictates the success at the end of the day.
Awesome. All right, that is so important because some might want to go super fast, and some might want to have a little bit of a slower pace depending on what the organization needs. So that's important to keep in mind. So thank you for that. So so walk us through it. We're leaving the implementation process and beginning the onboarding process. What's the first step for that successful launch? I bet I can guess.
Yeah, I just prefaced it, and again, we've got a slide here for it, right? You need to immediately book time with us, right? We have within our department here, within customer success, a series of what we call admin trainings, both one and two, in terms of again, just putting an hour stamp on your calendar. To make sure that you're in front of really a subject matter expert within our department here in customer success. We'll teach you the terminology, which we'll get into. We'll teach you how to set up your referral rewards, which we'll get into here today. But again, we're readily available to help you. All of our sessions are recorded. They are housed via Zoom. So again, not only you're able to have a real-time strategy session with your customer success manager, but also be able to fall back to a recording and maybe share that recording to someone who maybe wasn't there that day. But again, those admin training sessions, you're meant to be in front of a computer, right? Those are deep dives into our platform. And really, once that setup takes place, and again, that there's a solid understanding of the back end infrastructure, we'll then have another training, which is our sales team presentation, right? All of which is, again, just getting your team in a position to find success with Get the Referral, right? And believe me, that is our responsibility to make sure that you know what you're doing with our application. But it's a takes two to tango process there. We need you to dance with us. So getting on top of our schedule, booking that time is really our biggest emphasis there when it comes to success.
Excellent. Okay, I got it. So invest some time in the beginning. It is much needed, and I am ready to dance. So I'm going to make that commitment for the time investment. I love that you reinforced that. And now I want to understand what to expect for the first admin training. How does the training begin?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's a welcome stage, right? We make sure that, again, we understand your business. Our software is meant to mechanize your pre-existing procedures and the way in which you're selling, right? So again, we actually take the time to get to know you. What's your sales process look like? What's your marketing process look like? What does that mean to spend time? Again, diving into, and like Michaela on our slide here represents, we have a back end infrastructure that is called the GTR dashboard. And so not only time spent getting to know, again, your business, but you'll have to turn around and get to know our back end infrastructure. And one of the biggest pieces when it comes to our admin training is understanding first and foremost how to log into this GTR dashboard, right? Think of this as your workstation with GTR. But this in terms of then again, learning how to use the GTR dashboard, because there's so much that we pack into our platform. In this GTR dashboard, it's referral management. It's advocate management, which is users. We'll talk about terms and definitions here in a moment. I tend to say the word advocate a lot. That's our term here at GTR. So again, we'll define that in a moment. But then once we get a good framework of the setup of this platform and really what this app means in your customers' hands, we turn around and we teach you the application. We get this application in not only your hands, we get this applications in your sales team hands, we get this application in your internal, say, employees' hands. We get this in your past customers' hands. We get this in your current customers' hands, past referral partners. So there's a big introductory period with not only our back end infrastructure and the setup involved, but also how to talk about this application, right? And again, there's a big stake in that conversation on your shoulders as our customer, right? So again, that introduction to both the GTR dashboard and your own application, that's definitely what we look to, really check that box early on here with GTR.
Makes sense. Okay, so I need to understand the dashboard for my own governance for how I will be taking care of my referral program. And then the app is the other piece that our customers will have. And I need to understand that as well because they're the ones using it, but I need to know what they're using.
Absolutely, right? Reminder that the application at the end of the day almost always is going to be used not really by your internal employees, but more so with your customers, your past customers, those that are simply in your network. Now, yes, you can absolutely run an employee referral program through our GTR application, right? I see a lot of successful customers, yes, roll this application out to internal employees, but there's a big understanding with what this application means to your customers and past customers. That's where we'll start for sure.
Excellent. Thank you for clarifying all of that. Okay, so I believe at this point, it's important to define some key terms. I know you've touched on that a little bit, so I want to give you an
I couldn't
opportunity.
help myself. I couldn't help myself already getting to our terms there.
It's okay.
Yeah, so diving into just some key pieces that really our customer success department will hammer in with you. Our language here at GTR may take some time to get used to, but really we categorize just a few terms here. An admin, right? An admin is going to be working specifically with our customer success management team on the setup, on the implementation, but also making sure that everyone's kept accountable to be talking about this application, right? So an admin, often you'll hear us say it's a referral champion, someone who is really willing to partner with our team here in customer success to make sure at the end of the day that the app's being talked about daily, there's users being collected daily, and more specifically, referrals are coming in from this application daily, right? It's that constant conversation. So admins are those that are going to be the behind the scenes, really those who are moving the needle, right? The back end stakeholders, the heads of marketing, the managers of the sales departments, right? Those who have that key stake in getting this app success. Now, I don't really have to define what a referral means, but a referral is anything that's coming in from our application that has been submitted by an advocate, right? I said earlier, I'm going to say the advocate word probably about 30,000 times. Those who are on this call and are familiar with me, you know that word advocate because I hammer it into us, right? An advocate is any single person who is going to take the time to do three things with your platform. They're going to download your application from the App Store. They're going to create a credential for your application. And the third piece, the most important piece, they sign in to your application, right? We can create users all day long, but if they're not signed into the application and reach that final stage, really that advocate is not much if you ask me. So again, an advocate is someone who has signed up and signed in for your application. But who is an advocate, right? We said earlier, the low-hanging fruit. An advocate is a customer. Every single customer that you sign up, they should become an advocate because that's simply how you do business in 2023. You have an app in the App Store, and this is your tool to help a customer throughout their project with you, right? An advocate's a customer, but it
Yes.
doesn't just stop there, right? What does the word advocate stem from? Advocacy, right? So what do past customers maybe do that like your brand, that like your business, that like what happened on the install? Past customers advocate on behalf of your brand, right? So hey, a past customer is also an advocate, also someone who's willing to download your app and maybe submit you a referral. Shoot, maybe they might download your app because they're interested in new services of yours, right? So an advocate's a current customer, an advocate's a past customer, but an advocate isn't just customers. An advocate could be a referral partner, it could be a business partner, it could be a friend and family member, right? But an advocate at the end of the day is someone who is going to be willing and has the opportunity to submit you a referral, right? Look, my grandma can probably get to a point where she can download an application, but my grandma probably isn't going to be willing to and doesn't have the means to submit a referral. She doesn't know that many people. So we want advocates who are going to be useful to your program. So keep that in mind. But again, an advocate, there's really no limitation to who can become a referral partner of yours, who can become an app user of yours, right? So those are some key terms there, right? Advocates equal referrals, right? The more advocates that you collect, the more opportunity that you'll have for referral submission, right? And then that final term, an advocate sales rep. We've got some really cool techniques that involve your sales rep in this referral program. And so we actually create a specific credential for your sales reps so that your sales reps can actually continue to build the relationships that they're already building, but then actually be rewarded for not only building those relationships, but also to talk about the application, right? And we'll get into a lot of that training with your customer success manager, but just know that the sales reps, or what we call advocate sales reps, for me, are the biggest success point for a for a GTR customer, is making sure that your sales team is involved in talking about this application. So you'll hear all four of those terms throughout our customer success training, but that should definitely give you a good start there and start to paint the picture where, again, you know, who is downloading your application and, for what reason.
Excellent. Okay. So if this is my company, or I should say, I'll be a sales rep for my company on this admin training, and I have now decided I would like to be the referral champion. So could I be both an advocate, sales rep, and admin?
You absolutely can. You
Okay.
absolutely can.
Okay.
Absolutely. We have some specific rules when it comes to, permissions with that backend GTR dashboard, but we don't ever want to limit, someone that has maybe wears a few hats in the business, right? We'd ever want to limit that. So yeah, absolutely. You can be a sales rep and create your own network, build those relationships. And yes, you can also have a stake in that backend conversation as well. Great question.
Excellent. Okay. Just something that came to me, and I thought, I'm an overachiever at times, so I might like to do that. Okay. Awesome. So what's next?
Yeah. So when it comes to, once we get through the terms and really welcome you into our program, we really want to start hammering down your referral program, right? We, GTR, have a mechanism and we have actually some specific stages throughout the sales process and the referral journey that we actually automate notifications and automate down to the referring partners when they've earned money. And so one of the biggest, I would say, check boxes early on that we cover with any new customer is, well, for one, getting to know what your current referral program is, if you even have one, right? But then two, understanding how our GTR mechanism works when it comes to the referral pipeline. And again, we have a payout at the verified referral. Uh-oh, my lights went off. There we go. So I'm giving a little hand wave there to get my lights back on there in the room. Apologies. But the verified referral stage is meant for an interim payout. A lot of our customers, they onboard and they say, you know what, Chad, we actually only pay out when the install is completed. Well, incentivization is everything when it comes to a referral platform. And so, what that verified stage means here at GTR is that, say, Michaela, the sales rep here, since she just volunteered to be the sales rep, when Michaela, the sales rep, goes and reaches out to a referral, and maybe she's at least able to vet that referral and establish that that referral is legitimate, we have a payout stage at that verification moment so that the referring advocate gets a little cash in their pocket when the appointment's completed, or maybe when the contract is drawn. And that $5, that $10, that $15, $25, that can go a long way. ahead of the install actually been completed, right? So your referring partners get a few extra bucks in their pocket ahead of the install. Then, as that screen says, we have a sold referral stage, right? So those that do pay out at the install completed, right? Well, obviously our system is designed for that. We want to pay out when that referral has reached the install, right? Completed, project complete, etc. So then that sold reward is then available, and same notification sequences, push notifications, emails to the advocate letting them know when they've earned money. So some really cool payout stages. And then our bonus logic, it actually establishes a legitimate referral program. I always say that having a go to market referral program, but more specifically, having a competitive go to market referral program is how you're going to stand out in your communities and your networks that you're within, right? And so GTR allows you to build the infrastructure, lock down that infrastructure, and then take that infrastructure to market. And then on the back end, trust that our system is tracking those rewards for you. So, one of those first things that we hammer out with you again back in our customer success training is really getting to know your referral reward program and how we're going to implement that into our software.
Awesome. Okay. So I think for my company, I'm going to take a note from our previous webinar on the GTR success strategies and make sure all of my customers download the app from the very beginning at the install appointment. So I want to have that first reward verified, and then when they sign up and become a customer, I want to reward that as well. And then I love the idea of the bonus after 3. So I think that's how I would go with my company. Perfect. I love this. I feel like I'm really getting ready to do this. Okay. So we've logged in. We've got our definitions. I have figured out what my role is, and we've set up our referral rewards. What is next?
Yeah, and I kind of got into this a second ago with talking about who an advocate is, right? Defining really what an advocate means to your business. An advocate is someone who, again, has signed up for your application, but is more specifically logged in. But really, then also, when you have an advocate in front of you who has their app in the palm of your hand, teach that advocate how to fish, right? Teach that advocate what it means to submit their first referral, maybe what it means to earn their first reward, right? But backing up to what our department offers when it comes to a strategy with advocates, there is a strategy towards it, right? Who is going to be an advocate for your application? And I challenge everyone on this call to really pin down who is going to be your advocates, right? Customers. Those are the low hanging fruit, right? Michaela, hey, if you were my sales rep and you're sitting on my couch, we're working through a demonstration, and I sign on the dotted line, Michaela, right then and there, as my sales rep, you should pitch the application, right? Chad, thank you for joining Michaela's solar company, Michaela's roofing company. Now I need you to download our app because this is where you're going to live as a customer, right? I say, okay, right? Because I trust in my sales rep. My sales rep's built enough of a relationship for me to just eat out of the palm of my hand, out of the palm of Michaela's hand there, right? So again, an advocate's a customer, a past customer, but there's strategy in terms of collecting advocates, right? And the first strategy I just discussed via that explanation, in person. We've got to train everyone who's speaking with our customers in person to be pitching this application and to invoke a little bit of that phishing mechanism there, right? Teach them how to use this application because, hey, if you've got me in person, you're more inclined to get someone who, now, I'm 30 years old. This phone has been strapped to my hip for over 3/4 to probably 80% of my life now. So if Michaela said download an app, create an account, and sign in, that'd take me less than a minute. It's a very easy process. So again, in person is where you're going to have a lot of success collecting advocates. But there's a second piece to that invitation and go to market strategy with collecting advocates. There has to be a marketing approach to this. You have to fall back to those who have already advocated on behalf of your business. So again, past customers, past referral partners, right? Business partners, all of which who probably are willing to speak well on behalf of your business. So there's got to be a strategy I saw a question in the chat earlier, right? How do I get our past customers invited into this platform? And there's a whole load of ways to do that. Now, our program, we don't offer text message solutions, but you can incorporate in any external text message your app links, your registration forms. You can use our GTR QR code, which is a resource that our customer success team puts together so that you can have a single QR code that customers can scan and drop them right into the app store, right? So there's strategy with inviting advocates in that, say, campaign style of approach or marketing style of approach. Through the GTR dashboard, you can send emails. So if you import those emails into our GTR dashboard, you can then invite those emails from our GTR dashboard. I see a lot of successful clients early on import their contacts into our database and start sending invitations. But hey, if you've also got a full-fledged marketing engine outside of our platform, that's also a great place to start strategizing on how you're going to invite people into this application. Because one invitation isn't going to cut it. You're going to have to send a few. And maybe a few of those invitations are going to have some different verbiage within them. Maybe one invitation highlights your referral rewards. Maybe another invitation highlights some documentation and some resources that this app holds within. But all of that is, again, having that approach of just simply preaching that you have an app. You are now a tech savvy organization in this 2023 busy world that we live in, right? And so, again, there's that strategy that we'll look to train you up on, how we teach to collect advocates in person, but also how we have that approach of marketing this application to your past advocates, past customers, etc.
Awesome. And I love everything you touched on because it is piggybacking our next webinar, which we have scheduled for April 27th. Everyone that's on now should definitely register for the next webinar because everything that he just mentioned with regard to marketing the app and your referral program and those pieces of the GTR app that include the email and the push notifications, we are going to be going into a much deeper dive in our next webinar. So this will piggyback that. Onboarding is a little bit of a time investment, as we talked about, but there's a lot of information that you need. And once you get it all, that's where the success happens, man. So we're going to give you a lot of that in that next one. We're going to still continue what we've got here. And I definitely want to thank you for all of the magnificent information you've given so far. And as we continue to talk, I want to pause for a moment and just highlight a few key takeaways. The importance of the training session. I know we've touched on this a lot, but higher level management teams, integration teams, anyone who's going to be highly involved in the GTR launch should be present on these trainings. And we want to make sure that your team is in front of a computer so they can fully participate with your CSM and get the most out of that training. And we want to always make sure we're getting acquainted with those key terms because you're going to be using them a lot like we do. We talk about advocates all the time, but we have to know what that means, right? So understanding those, getting your referral reward set up, and then collecting advocates and all of that is so important. Did I miss anything? Did I mess anything up there?
No, spot on, Michaela. Spot on. I think let's dive into that, next piece here, which is once we've collected an advocate, right? Once we have been able to get that advocate in the door, there's a little bit of advocate management that is required there afterwards. If those of you who are familiar with me on this call today, you've probably heard the question, do you know your highest earning referral partner from your last fiscal year? Do you know who sent you the most referrals last year? Now, not to put anyone on the spot, but usually when I ask those questions, I hear a lot of crickets, right? So within this GTR dashboard, and again, within specifically any advocate's profile that's housed within this GTR dashboard, think of now the ways you can manage this advocate using their smartphone and using specifically their application. And our customer success team highlights how, again, you can manage these advocates. You're going to be able to see their referral history, how much they've been paid over the course of the program, right? Being able to tap back into your highest referring partners is a huge Huge piece of our equation, right? Because hey, if someone's earned money from you once, they're more inclined to do it again, right? If you've paid me once, guess what? I probably remember that, right? I'm more inclined to send you another referral because I've already got that first 500 bucks in my pocket, etc., right? So having this all logged in the advocate's profile is everything. You're able to take notes within the advocate's profile. But really what I love to highlight is the document feature. Now, we
Mm.
cover in our training, there is a way to build out a mass document feature, right? A documents for all type of a tab. Think of it as a resource tab, a file cabinet where maybe a customer can see a portfolio of past projects, maybe some links or resources that they want to read as FAQs for your program. But that's the mass feature. The individual document feature. Again, say if Chad, I'm Michaela's customer, I've now downloaded Michaela's app. Michaela can upload personal documents to me and me alone through this advocate's profile. So again, there is a specific feature in our program where you can upload a personalized document and only that advocate will see. So think about contracts, plans, financing information, warranty information. You can take the time to upload all of that information into an advocate's profile so that hey, when I call Michaela come tax season, hey Michaela, I'm looking for a copy of my contract, can you provide that to me? Michaela can go, hey Chad, it's great to hear from you. Hey, that copy of your contract is in your application. Oh, and hey, as a reminder, we've got that great referral promotion running right now. So if you find your contract excellent, but hey, as a reminder, if you send us a referral, well, we're willing to pay you. I go, oh, that's right, thanks Michaela, click. But I'm already dropped right back into that application now, thinking about how that application can bring me value, right? So the documents feature, I think for me personally, is very underutilized here at GTR. But the mass feature, that's a set and forget type of a place where it can become now a file cabinet or a resource, right? But now also think about what it means to individually upload documents to an advocate. All of that being housed in the GTR dashboard and specifically a profile for each and every advocate. So I think that's pretty cool when it comes to managing not only your referral program as a whole, but also your individual advocates that are using the platform.
I love that. So we can uh, put their contracts, their warranties, and all of the details for their project and their account alone in their documents.
Absolutely.
Love that. Okay, so making it like it's the hub of the company's communication with them, if you will.
Absolutely. And you bring up the word hub as a perfect transitional word for kind of our next conversation here, Michaela, which is the project management tool that GTR offers, right? So again, this is really for only current customers who are going through an install of yours, right? Going through an active project of yours. When Michaela has me download the application as a potential and or now new customer, Michaela's going to be in my ear saying, "Hey Chad, this app in that perfect world situation is going to be pulling you updates immediately from what is our customer relationship management tool. So you're going to receive timely updates to the banner of your phone when your install is progressing, right? Say permits have been received, an install has been scheduled, the install has been completed, right? Those of us in solar, right? Permission to operate, right? Those are project stages that now we can start to provide the customer through your application. And so think about a customer who's receiving banner notifications as to what's going on with their project. Again, using that same, hey, Michaela, what's going on with my project? Michaela has told me, hey, Chad, use this application as your dedicated tool to follow along with your project here. And I say, you know what? Okay. I believe in that message. So now I'm using this application as my project management milestone tool. Most of our customer success team, I've listened to a lot of our calls. They like to joke about this stage as almost being the Domino's pizza tracker of get the referral, right? If you've ever ordered Domino's pizza online, that's a fun experience, more so because you just get to watch the process. The pizza's being made, the pizza's in the oven, the pizza's in the box, the pizza's on its way to me. Even that alone provides me a project status on my pizza getting to my doorstep. Think of that now in terms of your own projects, right? it's crucial to keep your customer informed. And again, using the application for this, right? It's an excuse to get the customer to download your app, right? Yes, the customer experience upticks, but then when we think about how all of your customers have now downloaded this app, think about what that communication channel means a couple months after the install's been completed, when then you can tap into our highest read rate mechanism that we offer here at GTR, push notifications. Think about now your post-install engagement using this application, right? You get them in early on with documentation and the fact that they're going to use this app for project management. But once that project shifts into and just simply a happy customer, you use this application to engage. And that's huge. So Project Stages gets those customers involved early on. And again, we help you with that setup throughout our admin trainings. We help you with the integration. If at all you're looking to integrate your CRM's project stages to align with our project stages so those update automatically, our team's here for you, right? So those are all conversations that are housed within our admin training. But I love those documents and project stages there because, again, at the end of the day, it helps you collect users. That's all we can ask for, right? Is more users, more advocates for your platform.
I love that. And so this is also a time saver, right? Like, because I don't have to make the calls to tell all of my customers what stage, what's happening on their roof. Calling
Absolutely.
them back because they want to know where I'm at with XYZ, right?
Yeah. And hey, Patty, I'll answer that question real time. Appreciate you checking in with that. Yes, Patty, our GTR dashboard can entirely manage that process for you. You do not have to be integrated to use our project stage module. Our GTR dashboard is absolutely aligned for you to, hey, go in there, maybe manually update a few of those projects if needed. But yes, our dashboard out of the box is absolutely ready to go, less the integration. The integration is just one of those time savers, right? But yeah, Patty, great question there. Absolutely, you can manage that entirely with our dashboard. So thanks, Michaela. Just figured I'd answer that real time then since we got a great question from her.
Excellent. That was an excellent question and an excellent answer. And I just want to mention, as you said, out of the box, I want to mention that these stages are out of the box. And it is so much more fun to make these notifications personalized to your company. You can make them exciting for your customers to receive. This, your site survey is complete. Put a little happy face emoji and get them pumped up. This is great stuff. And you don't even have to call them. This is going to happen, at that stage. So this is super exciting. I just wanted to mention that because I know we've had some customers. I'm stepping out of my role as an XYZ customer. I'm stepping back into my GTR team role. But I know we've had some customers that have done a really great job with customizing these notifications to make them personalized and really exciting for their customers. So I just wanted to mention that. So before we go on to the next one, I know we talked about this quite a bit already. So I just want to mention the documents and resources, super important. Chad talked about this a lot. It highlights and empowers your customer experience and customer retention. So you can read all about that when you get the PDF download.
Yeah, I flip-flopped those, Michaela, but I think my explanation on that documents and in advocates profile tab, I figured I'd go with it right there. But yeah, that's a little bit more of a snapshot on that documents window there for you.
All good, my friend. I was going to pop over to that slide, but I didn't know if you wanted me to wait. So it's all great.
Good. And yeah, just in terms of, I think there goes that light again, man. I got to fix these timers in here in the office, but I'll give a little nice wave here to make sure that I'm here.
Yeah,
Come on, lights. There we go. Sorry, team. I'm looking like a fool here, just waving my hands around. But all of that as well in the documentation is actually going to be covered in our ebook that we're going to send you here today as a follow-up. So just wanted to touch base that, again, we have a lot of collateral coming your way here after this presentation. So, hey, if you made it this far, appreciate it. Because, again, you got a lot of resources coming your way as well.
Absolutely. All free, by the way. So, yeah, they're just free downloads for you to access and really get the most out of our platform. So fantastic. So let's see, where are we now?
Yeah, so again, I think we're really moving through, some of those highlight aspects of our Admin 1 training, but then diving into, those secondary pieces of our Admin 2 training, and then what would be sales team presentations. A lot of those back end trainings really just start to hammer this application into your day in the life. We start to talk about referral management in the referral stages. We actually talk about how you're paying out advocates through our application, and then also what incorporates our, or how that incorporates, excuse me, our payment vendor Extreme. Here at GTR, we have a payment vendor. Any payment that is made through our app is actually being remitted from our payment vendor. Thus, if we have any finance heads in the room, our payment vendor is responsible for generating the 1099s. So, our payment system and process here at GTR is actually meant to take a little bit of the load off your shoulders there. And so, again, getting into our admin 2 and sales team trainings, we're really starting to to hammer the nail in and really get you to the point where you're ready to pay out advocates, but more specifically, your team is inviting advocates in to then get to the point where we're paying out those advocates.
Awesome. Okay, so we've had an overview of the Admin 1 training. Now we're going to cover the first part of the Admin 2 training. And just as a reminder, the second part of the Admin 2 training will be covered in our next webinar on April 27th. That's how to market your referral program with GTR, because it covers some of those GTR features that are used for marketing your referral program. So you do not want to miss that one. We're going to piggyback what we're learning today. It's really going to give you a full picture of everything that you need to know to make sure your app launch is successful. And we really want that for you. So, okay, Admin 2 training. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, our referral stages are important at GTR. Like I maybe mentioned earlier, we have a mechanism, and this mechanism is actually meant and corresponds with all kinds of workflows, automatic workflows that send push notifications, that send email engagements as these referrals are moving through what would be the referral life cycle. And as we defined earlier, there's a few payout points within our process that we'll look to define that will be sending automatic payout notifications. And again, if I get a push notification and I look at that window and it says I've earned money, that's a pretty exciting notification in a 2023 world, right? That you've got money on the way. So our referral stages are meant to, again, incentivize and engage your advocates so that you can start to build these customers into referring partners there. So again, referral management is a big topic, all of which leading towards establishing your referral program there.
Awesome. Okay, so we are getting so much closer and ready for our app launch. I know next we are going to talk a little bit about integration with a customer relationship management tool. I know we had a question about that.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that part.
Absolutely, right. And so the integration with our platform, we have three offerings out of the box when it comes to our integrations here. Our team likes to define them just by names, right? We have lead push, lead status updates, and project management updates. And I see a few questions coming in, right, in terms of those updates. Jalen, I'll get those answered here in a second. I see those, so thank you. But let's start with our first integration. Any new lead and referral that is submitted through this application, when it reaches our GTR dashboard, we can also push that lead into your CRM. Now, we can do that with a few different ways. The easiest way, if you're familiar with Zapier, GTR has a Zap. Within 5 minutes, you can configure that Zapier and have any new referral pushed into your CRM. So if you need help with any of those integration pieces, please reach out to your dedicated customer success manager. But again, the first integration we offer is getting any new referral into your CRM automatically. So again, if there's a referral partner out there that's maybe sending you a referral via text, sending you a referral via email, right? That's not the process anymore. We want to get them into the app so that they can submit a referral through the app. And then that referral record is automatically created in an area where you're comfortable to begin working that lead, right? In your new leads pipeline, new contacts pipeline, etc. So that's the first integration. The second piece, so when we push you a lead, We're also interested as to when that lead is progressing through the sales cycle so that we can update the referring partner as to when they're earning money. So the lead push and lead status update integration is a closed loop integration. We push you the information for a referral. We also are interested in the status of that referral so we can update our system. Right. And then the third piece of our project, of our integration, excuse me, is project management. And we are those last two integrations, which are lead status and project management, we are simply pulling updates from your CRM into our dashboard, and we use webhooks for those. So those webhooks, again, are housed within your GTR dashboard. They are publicly available within that integrations tab. However, if you're under contract for GTR to perform that integration, we are absolutely responsible for getting under the hood and making sure that those integrations are flowing as needed. So, Shaylin, right? If your project stage is not updating with a customer within the application, please reach out to your customer success manager with the specific email or the specific referral that you're not seeing is moving. Again, we're always happy to look under the hood there. We know that integrations, right? Data, automations, APIs, webhooks, there's a lot that can go wrong with data flowing from system to system there. So, we're happy to get under the hood there, Shaylin. Just please reach out to your customer success manager for any integration questions with the specific email in question. And again, we're always happy to research that for you because why we stress the integration? Um, it's so important as a time saver, right? You can live in the environment you're already working within. Your CRM, right? Maybe it's Zoho, maybe it's Job Progress, Salesforce, AccuLinks, MarketSharp, right? The list goes on and on these days. But it's our responsibility to hopefully make your lives easier with this software, right? Hopefully implore a few more automated push notifications. That's really what that integration means, is that you're not having to manually update things. You get to see those updates occur automatically, which then push notifications and emails go out automatically. I know I went a little over time there, Michaela, but I think the integration is such a crucial piece here in customer success. And again, it takes time with our team, getting in front of a Zoom, sitting down with maybe your IT team and maybe one of our developers. But the integration is so crucial to success here with not only the project tracking capability, but also the referral incentives there as well.
Awesome. Yes, that integration is so vital. Not required, but very cool. So thank you for taking that extra time. I know everyone, we are over time a bit, so please forgive us. We had a lot to cover today. We are gonna stop right here for this part of the webinar, and we are gonna just make sure you didn't have anything else that you want to touch on. Before I do that, though, we are going to take a few questions before we go. If you want to hang out, I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the downloads in the chat box now in case anybody has to bounce, because I know we can on over time. I want to make sure everybody gets those. And Chad, do you have anything else that you want to share before we dive into questions?
No, again, as Michaela stated there, I appreciate everyone's time today. Our team in customer success, we've got a lot to talk about because, we're really here to help you change your business. We're really here to invest with you into this new software as a service space that GTR offers, right? And I really love this slide, Michaela. I know I posted this internally the other day because I loved it so much. It's time invested. And the customers that have been with us for the long run, the customers that have looked to invite their customers in and just involve this application into everything that they can. It's been great. They've had successful launches, but it's always about that initial time to investment there. I see Matt here. Great question about push notifications. I think our marketing gals in our next webinar will hammer in our marketing engines there with push notifications, messaging, and emails. But Matt, if you look to the push notification schedule of our dashboard, you can send one-off communication to just simply a single advocate, or you can schedule in bulk. We just, as of GTR, I am so happy to announce we rolled out scheduled push notifications in January and February. So that admin, right? I know we said admin earlier. That admin can go into the dashboard and look to schedule out notifications, say throughout the week, throughout the month. I know Miss Michaela here, she was sending push notifications for our GTR app about this webinar, right? So all kinds of ways you can definitely use that there to your advantage, Matt.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Let's see. You answered Shaylin's question about the referral stage. I think we have one from Butler. Let's see here. You can change mine to onboarding. Oh, okay. All right. My phone and I want to text and photograph it to the link. Can you give any guidance on how best to do this? I think that you answered this question also, did you not?
I did. I was trying to keep eyes on that chat real time there. So again, Butler, hopefully I got that for you right. Unfortunately, no text message solution at GTR, but we have all the links and resources and landing pages that hopefully you can incorporate into maybe something external to GTR that would help you with that campaign.
Awesome. All right. So I have a question for you as my company. Now that I have completed the implementation stage and I've got an overview of onboarding, is there anything I can do to get a head start on my onboarding? Is there a checklist that I can start to gather my documents?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Michaela, again, you're giving yourself your own stage there and pedestal, but absolutely, we got a checklist coming for you guys. Again, it's really what to do when it comes to onboarding with GTR. Fine tuning your program there, and really what these webinar series are meant to represent is just to help you, our customers, or say our potential customers. We've got a lot of different organizations working with us that all do it a little bit differently, but all finding great success with GTR. So appreciate everyone's time here
Excellent.
today. That's all I've got from my deck here, Michaela. I thank you so much for involving the customer success team in these webinar series, and we're excited for the next few to come.
Absolutely. And yes, please take a look at the link I've shared with you guys. You can get that checklist that I teased uh, because it is the most current checklist as of now. It may be changing soon, and we will have another updated version as needed. But there's the slides for today. There's the ebook that Chad mentioned. We've got the previous webinar, that GTR success strategies direct from our customers, on there. And our white paper. So please take advantage of all of that. It is there to help you find the success that you deserve. That is a wrap, everyone. Thank you for staying over with us. Chad, thank you so much for all of your time and expertise and insight and valuable information today. It is so appreciated.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for your time, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you next time. Bye for now.